let's try this again before my stupid camcorder conks out again. I have no idea what happened. Maybe it's because this camcorder is from like 2009, I think. I got it on my 21st birthday, and now it's 10 years later. It's probably broken. So I'm gonna try to make this fast. If what you're seeing is a disaster area, please be forewarned. We just moved here a few weeks ago. My mom found an apartment for us, and it's really amazing how I was able to fit everything in here. I'm really, really scared as it is. Dad is out of the hospital. He is home. Dad finally got out of the nursing home. Thank God that he wasn't in future care, or my dad would have tested positive for coronavirus. He is coronavirus negative, which is why I say this with love, that probably future care needs to be condemned. But that's just my opinion. It's not the opinion of anybody else. So I have a lot of horror stories about that place. I'm not going to go into it. It's too scary. It's too post-traumatic stress. Let's forget it. Forget the whole thing. My dad is finally home, and it's April. He's been in the hospital since February. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I don't get this. But anyway, that's news up to date. I have my posters back. I have Doctor Who on this wall now instead of that wall. This bedroom is actually as small as it is. It's about half the size of my bedroom at the townhouse. I'm not happy about it at all. And my bed is once more my desk because I had to get rid of my childhood desk that I've had since I was 10. Like 8 or 10 or something. I absolutely hate that desk. I got rid of it. And the stupid movers who moved my beautiful dresser, those of you who've seen my pictures on Twitter, my dresser is broken. Because the stupid movers who put my dresser into storage actually tilted it to its side and put a whole bunch of heavy crap on top of it, and that is what my mom told them not to do. So now I have to ditch my beautiful dresser that has this awesome little keyhole drawer on the inside of the top drawer that I love. I felt like I had my own mall. I have to now take that dresser to the dump and buy an armoire. I have no idea what an armoire is, but basically it's what everybody calls a wardrobe that you buy from IKEA, and IKEA is completely shut down because of COVID-19. So my dad keeps saying, oh, let's go to Wayfair, and I said, hell no, because I hate Wayfair. I hate bidding online on Facebook Marketplace. I just found out today that it's not a good place to go, and I absolutely hate Wayfair because of their annoying as hell commercials all the time. So, now you know what's happening here. Although, really, this is as good as it's gonna get. I also have some new artwork that I posted, like this one. This is from BronyCon 2019, the last one in existence before My Little Pony up and left the series. It closed out the series. At the exact same time they said BronyCon 2019 will be the very last BronyCon in existence in Baltimore. They're shutting down. My Little Pony finally ended their entire series. And honestly, this is probably the most beautiful My Little Pony artwork that I have of Rarity and Princess Luna. Both characters were done by the same voice actress, apparently. And really, this definitely speaks my entire personality, because if you've ever seen My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, I totally empathize with both of these characters, because both of those characters, Rarity and Princess Luna, being done by the same voice actress, this is funny, both personalities of both ponies actually are my entire personality. Because Rarity is like the creative genius who makes artwork and makes beautiful clothing. I mean, I'm still working on my Doctor Who costume. Still working at it. I'm basically reconstructing it from scratch. The coat I'm still going to keep. The actual overcoat that I wore in a previous video that I did Lucky 13th Doctor for Costume Con, I'm still keeping that. But I'm actually ripping out the entire sleeves at this point to do a complete redesign of the sleeves so that it's more fluid with the style of the entire coat. And there's also something missing from that coat that Jodie Whittaker actually said in an interview with BBC and Doctor Who for the behind-the-scenes look of The Woman Who Fell to Earth. That was from season 11, episode 1. And I actually found out it's because Jodie Whittaker explained the significance of her coat in relation to the 13th Doctor. That the exterior is kind of a bluish gray, or like a lavender gray, because it signifies the color of the sky that the Doctor fell through when she regenerated, and the TARDIS kicked her out of the box. And on the inside of the coat is blue, which represents space, because she is a Time Lord. She navigates through space and time, and she goes to so many different planets. And we have no idea what the Doctor's age is right now because of that episode, that two-part episode where the 12th Doctor is inside that confession dial, constantly dying over and over again at the hands of this mysterious monster that's trying to kill him. And it's funny. It's actually really funny that now we have no idea how old the Doctor is. We used to know from David Tennant's point of view in the 10th Doctor that the Doctor was actually 900 years old. But when we got to Peter Capaldi for the 12th Doctor, he's actually... we have no idea. We have no idea how old he is. He went from 2,000 years old from his first season, season 8, with the episode Deep Breath, when he tells Clara, I'm 2,000 years old, to all of a sudden, towards the end of Peter Capaldi's run, and of course the end of the Stephen Moffat era, we have no idea how old the Doctor is. Especially when Stephen Moffat hands it over to Chris Chibnall, who is now running Doctor Who, and now the Doctor is a woman. We have no idea how old she is. So she has the exterior of the coat that represents the sky, and the interior of the coat is blue, which means the Doctor is space and time. The inside of the coat, the blue lining is space. The exterior is the sky, representing the clouds. So it's like a grayish blue and then dark blue. So now I get it. Now I know why the interior of the coat was so important and so vital, which is probably why I won absolutely nothing at Costume Con 37 in Salem, Boston, Massachusetts. And that was actually the very, very last vacation trip excursion that I've ever been to in the last, I want to say, year and a half. And unfortunately, reason why my computer is out, I just found out on Facebook that not only did they recently cancel San Diego Comic-Con about 2 weeks ago. San Diego Comic-Con was supposed to be the exact weekend of my birthday, which is July 25th. Not only did they do that, but I just heard today on Facebook through this computer, because my phone's a piece of shit. I mean, really, this is a government-issued phone. Pretty much dates back to 1999, 98, somewhere around there. And it has, like, no internet service. Unlimited talk, unlimited text, because I just got the news from Virgin Mobile Assurance Wireless. This is how crappy it is. Virgin Mobile, oh my god. This is how crappy it is. They just gave me unlimited talk now. 1,000 minutes, but it's unlimited, and it's like rollover. You can talk as long as you want. And this is because they want you to keep in touch with your friends during coronavirus and keep social distancing. And I've been doing that. I mean, if you look at my nightstand, I've been holding on to these for dear life. These are all a couple years old, I guess, but really, hand sanitizer is hand sanitizer. And I've been holding on to these for dear life. I have tons more hand sanitizer that's more recent in my purse. In my little pink purse on the floor. And I've been holding on to these for dear life because I know I'm never going to Bath and Body Works ever again. They've shut down too because Governor Hogan says they're non-essential. But really, come on. Bath and Body Works is essential because they sell soap. They sell soap. They sell shower gel. They sell pocket bacteria. Everybody's going to be wanting to buy hand sanitizer. And this is what I got. This is what I've been using the past, I don't know, month. It's been a month. We moved here on March 28th. March 28th was my last day of being homeless. That was the day I finally moved in here. If you've seen any of the pictures of what my bedroom looked like the day I moved in on March 28, March 29, the pictures aren't available on Twitter anymore because I did a lot of GIF photos and tweets and everything. That's moved. But if you look at my WordPress account, and I know I don't have any subtitles. I'm really, really poor. I really should edit my videos anyway. But thing is, if you look at my WordPress account, Rachel Beth Ahrens, A-H-R-E-N-S, yes, it is my given legal name, given at birth, on my birth certificate. Although, really, my middle name is Elizabeth. I've shortened it to help ease the pain off of Twitter because my full name, Rachel Elizabeth Ahrens, which is my legal given name, is a little too many characters to fit into a Twitter profile. So my writer byline ghostwriter name is actually Rachel Beth Ahrens. So anyway, Rachel Beth Ahrens, A-H-R-E-N-S, or if I can spell it through sign language, because my DSS counselor, I love her so much. My DSS counselor, Kathleen, at CCBC, Community College of Baltimore County, is legally and permanently deaf. She's got like 99% hearing loss. She's totally deaf. Even when with her hearing aids in, she can hear a little bit, but she still can't hear it. She still can't hear my voice, what it actually sounds like, which is why her voice is distorted. She was an angel. She taught me how to use sign language. So, bear with me. This is going to be a little bit slow. I don't know if you guys can read ASL, but this is it. R-A-C-H-E-L, and then Beth, which is B-E-T-H, and then That is my legal given name, Rachel Beth Aarons, .wordpress.com/home. All the latest articles and essays that I've written in WordPress is under the file that says "Welcome to my web." That is the home page. If you just go to the WordPress.com domain name, it's just going to pull up my About page, which is just a profile of what I'm all about. But if you go to the home page, which is /home, or click the sidebar button that says "Welcome to my web," that is the home page. Those are all my articles and essays marked newest to oldest. The latest one is at the top, and that has all the pictures from the day that we moved in on March 28th to the day that everything was organized. Very special thanks to Kathy and her husband Peter for helping me organize all this. If my dad's friends, Kathy and Peter, did not come in to rearrange everything, I wouldn't have been able to make this place look homey and put all my posters up. So I'm really happy for that. Thank you, Kathy. But anyway, reason why I'm doing this video. Let me put this away. I don't know if you've heard, but I recently made this huge, grandiose statement that I'm never going to sing again. Well, the truth of the matter is, I'm never going to sing in public. Because I'm all doom and gloom right now, because I really do think that since they canceled Shore Leave and Comic-Con almost to the day of the same week, if I'm going to go out on a limb here, I'm thinking that quarantine is going to be pushed to July, maybe August at the earliest. And I'm thinking doom and gloom, worst case scenario. All I can think is the worst case scenario. But my therapist says otherwise. I really do think that Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, all the holidays at this point are canceled. And nobody is going to be able to shake hands or hug anybody until maybe February of 2021 at the latest. At the very, very latest. I think nobody's ever going to celebrate another New Year's. Nobody's going to celebrate Christmas. Christmas is canceled because I know somebody's going to say, well, Santa Claus doesn't want to get COVID-19, so sorry kids, your Christmas is canceled. This is a horrible, horrible, worst case scenario kind of thought that Maryland lockdown and the entire quarantine of the entire country of the United States is going to continue throughout the entire year, at least until January 15th, 2021. And nobody is going to be allowed to leave their homes. So I've already given up on college because I absolutely hate online, I hate online classes. I know I'm actually acing marketing class. That is the easiest class to get through because I don't have to attend any Zoom meetings because my professor is actually a little bit digitally advanced in that area. Back when I took his human resources class, and that was last semester in the fall. It was fall 2019 when I took Professor Osborne's HR human resources class. He did all of his exams through Scantron or mark it right on the test. And because I have DSS accommodations, I was able to have testing center accommodations with zero distraction and white noise. And the best part about it was I could mark my answers right on the test. And because of that, I aced his class. I had 90s in his class, passed it with flying colors. I've never had a problem with Professor Osborne, so he's a great guy. He's a great teacher. I love him to death. I love Professor Osborne. He inspires hope in me. So, marketing is not going to be a problem. It's with the same professor. I love my marketing class. All of his assignments are through Blackboard, and they're easy. You never have to attend any Zoom meetings. Thank God for him. Unfortunately, that's not the same with my other class, which is business law. Business law is completely different. I have Professor Tim Faith Esquire, who is a real lawyer, and he really knows what he's talking about. He does practice business and contract law with the state of Maryland court system. And he's a really good guy. He knows his stuff. He constantly tries to get the class involved, and he does a lot of hard-hitting questions, really tough questions to ask the students about contract law and UCC and criminal law and all that stuff. The only problem is the material that you have to learn is really, really heavy, and you have to do a group project at the end, which is going through all the legal stuff and doing like a business plan thing for a topic of your choice. Right now, he assigned me to do exotic cars, which is like sports cars and luxury cars like the Maserati, and race cars like NASCAR. And you can basically rent out these exotic cars, and you have to go through all the legal stuff and all that. Both of my group members are really, really nice people, and they totally understand my situation with my father fighting cancer and dealing with an entire leg amputation and being in a wheelchair. This apartment is actually great for my dad because you probably can't see it, but the bathroom that's right across the hall from my bedroom, it's right next door, is a great big bathroom that has a washer and dryer in the same unit. We never have to share a washer and dryer with the entire building. I just have to share it with my parents. This is great. And this big bathroom is a walk-in bath and shower with actual bars that you can stand up on and hold yourself on one leg, which is perfect for people in wheelchairs. This entire apartment unit is geared towards people with disabilities, people who are disabled. My dad loves it. Dad loves that this entire place is on the first floor and is perfectly set up for my dad so that he can never leave his wheelchair, and if he has to, he is totally able to take a shower by himself without the aid of a nurse, which has been a real problem since my dad started going to the hospital very frequently. This is the 7th time that my dad has been in the hospital in the past year. And now he's home, he's happy, he's healthy, everything is fine. But ever since... But anyway, the reason why I'm making this video is to get you up to date with what's happening in the Aaron's house. I know I'm saying too much. This is way too much detail. My mother would say, Rachel, TMI, shut the hell up. Truth is, I'm not going to sing in public. The only way you're going to hear me sing is by making these really stupid videos that are really, really TMI, too much info, too much sharing. But the problem is, you know, the only way I can do Zoom conferences is with my teachers, like Professor Faith. Tim Faith forces you to use Zoom to interact with the classroom, interact with the professor. He can only accept questions, comments, and anything that you have problems with the course material through his CCBC email, through your student email, not Blackboard. You cannot email him through Blackboard. It's impossible. You absolutely have to use your Office 365 Outlook, which I absolutely hate. But that is my problem. That's not the school's problem. So, I'm really stuck on this. Nobody is going to help me with this. That's my problem, not theirs. I don't have anything to... I won't put up a fight with CCBC, so... Sucks to be me. This is probably why I'm going to have to drop out of college, because if quarantine continues up through September or October, that means I'm never going to have a face-to-face class again. Everything's going to be online, so I say, screw it. I'm never going back to school, because nobody will let me graduate. Student conduct and my stupid accounting teacher, I won't say her name, took my words too seriously when I said something, an obscenity, in class, before class even started. I wasn't disrupting the class. I mean, class hadn't started. It was 5 minutes before class. It was raining. The weather was horrible. I was going through a problem, and she took it too hard. And this was the second time she wrote me up to student conduct. She kicked me out of her class. So now that I have talked to student conduct at CCBC, they pretty much pulled the brakes and said, if you don't take Accounting 101 in the summer or the fall, you will never graduate. So you have only two choices. You either take the online class in the summer, because COVID-19 has canceled all face-to-face classes until August or September at the latest, or you take it in the fall. And I said, okay, then let me make you a third option. You just lost a customer. I'm going to drop out of school, and I'm never getting my future back. You just killed my dreams. And they basically screamed at me, no, we don't want to lose you. You are a student. Please stay. I've talked to President Dr. Curtinitis, who is a sweetheart. She's known me since 2006 when I was Secretary of Student Government. She knows Rashida Govan, who was the former Director of Student Life. She's now a PhD professor at a college, historically black college in Louisiana. She's living like a queen in New Orleans. I love Rashida. Love you, girl. And the president of the college knows me. I have friends in high places when it comes to colleges. And unfortunately, she sent me through her vice president, Dr. Lilly, who sent me automatically back to student conduct, and I have, because I'm scared of student conduct, and I'm absolutely scared blind of public safety, which is the security system with CCBC, also in tandem with Baltimore County Police. I'm scared of them. I mean, I have absolute regard and the highest respect for the crime system in Baltimore and Maryland. I absolutely love what the government is doing for us, especially now. I used to have doubts that Governor Hogan was just like Donald Trump, who I now call President Scrump the Bastard. Now that Governor Hogan has been taking this matter seriously with COVID-19, I'm basically jumping up and down, screaming in joy that Governor Hogan is now my superhero, and he should run for president of the White House in 2024. And I know that it's going to be impossible for him to run for president this year because I know Trump is going to try to get reelected, even though he's impeached 4 years later. I really hope and pray to God that my governor of Maryland is going to be president. I would love for Governor Hogan to run the United States from the White House, because he is a really, really good governor. The way he has saved Maryland, he attacked COVID-19 head on. His wife was from South Korea, and she just did something incredibly amazing by ordering South Korea to deliver masks, face shields, and test kits for COVID-19 to come to Maryland, and she ordered them by the millions. I love Governor Hogan. He is saving us. He is saving us. And he allowed my father to go home during Maryland lockdown, during the Stay-Home Directive. I love this guy. Thank you, Larry Hogan. I love you. He is definitely going to save us. But I'm really, and another thing about Larry Hogan. He's actually a natural-born U.S. citizen from Washington, D.C. He's a resident of Maryland right now because he's governor. But he was actually born in D.C., where Congress works. That's even better. He's a natural-born citizen, former resident of the nation's capital, and is now a resident of Maryland, working as our governor in Annapolis. I hear a presidential candidate calling. And honestly, I really think Governor Hogan should be the next president in 2024. 4 more years. Come on. Let's go. I mean, he can't run for president now because he's Republican, and we have a Republican in the White House who wants to run for re-election. Please don't let Trump become a dictator. Please get him out of here. But, I'm just going to wait patiently 4 more years, and I hope the governor of Maryland is the next president. Okay, I'm getting off that rant. Larry Hogan is a hero in Maryland. He's living like a rock star right now. He has saved us. But unfortunately for me, I feel like because the idiots in Maryland who are still not listening to the rules by wearing a mask, washing your hands, using hand sanitizer if you need to. Unfortunately, this lockdown of Maryland is going to last until January 15th, 2021, and all the holidays will be canceled. Halloween is going to be canceled. Sorry, Carenza. I would love to wear a beautiful costume that I have made entirely by hand. I mean, I've got all the materials here. I don't ever need to go shopping at Michael's or Joann Fabrics ever again, because my mom just handed me this beautiful black fabric material that I can use to make pants for a certain costume idea that's rolling around in my head that's been going on for the past, 72 hours since I saw this awesome viral video series pilot called Has Been Hotel. Has Been with a Z. Has Been Hotel is, I will warn you, is, if it was ever on television, it would be rated MA for mature audiences, or it would be rated NC-17 in movie theaters. This is strictly for adults. It is an adult cartoon. It is not for kids under the age of 15 or under the age of 18. This is adults only. It is very sick, very twisted, and it's basically like total anarchy in this series because it takes place in the land of hell. And the overlord overseeing this is, you never really see him, but you know it's Satan. The head honcho of hell is the devil. And the devil is very, very important in this scenario because the devil, you find out, has a daughter, the princess of hell, who I'm actually thinking of masquerading for Halloween, maybe, fingers crossed. Her name's Charlie Maine, and she is the princess of hell, and she is like in between My Little Pony characters, Twilight Sparkle and Pinkie Pie, especially since she wears a lot of pink. She has a pink coat over her like bellhop uniform for her hotel, the Happy Hotel, which this radio demon Alistair renames the Has-Been Hotel with a Z, hence the name of the show. She is really perky, really spunky, and she's all sunshine and puppies and rainbows. But she also has a darker side because she is the spawn of the devil and Lilith Maine, who are basically the overlords of hell. And it's really cute with her emotional facial expressions that she can go all sweet and happy to red eyes and horns and a devilish grin right in front of your eyes for a split second, and then she's back to be all happy sunshine and rainbows. And if you've ever heard the song "Inside of Every Demon is a Rainbow," oh my god, you're in for a treat. It's so adorable. She is so cute. I love Charlie Maine, and also because her name is a play on words, because her name sounds a lot like Charlemagne during the medieval times of feudalism in Europe, especially England. You know, Charlemagne of England. That's really, really cool. That is super cool. She is Charlemagne, but her name is Charlie Maine. And she is the princess of hell because she is the devil's daughter. She is the spawn of Satan. She was born in hell, but she really should be an angel in heaven. Especially since she started her own business of a hotel that rehabilitates sinners so she can decrease overpopulation and not allow her father to kill all these souls and have them erased every year during a cleanse. This girl is dynamite. I love her. So yeah, love the Has-Been Hotel. And oh my god, if you have not seen this, please, please watch it. I won't give any more spoilers. Please watch this just for the animation, because the cartoons that Vivian Madrano, Viv Z-Pop, has done with this entire show, with the pilot episode that aired December of last year, the entire animation work that she has done is so fluid and so cutting edge. This is like top-notch cartoon animation. It looks amazing. The use of color, the color schemes, the characters, the movements of their limbs and everything, the facial expressions, she got it down pat. Especially, this is why it's really, really meant for adults, because it's mature audiences. Really, nobody under 18 should watch this on their own. To describe this as best as I can, it's like a Chuck Jones Daffy Duck cartoon is on crystal meth. That's how crazy it is. I mean, you're living in hell. The entire show, it takes place in hell. I love this. I absolutely love this. It's hilarious. I saw it straight through with my hair standing on end and me constantly clapping my hands and going, ee! Whenever I saw Charlie Mayne, and she just burst out into song. And there's also a complete reference to the Roaring Twenties during the Radio Demon song. I'm not going to say any more about it. Just watch it. Watch Has Been Hotel. Has Been with a Z. HAZBIN. Has Been Hotel. Look it up on YouTube. Watch the entire thing. Please say in the comments how much you loved it, or if you don't like it. I don't care. The cartoon is to die for. It's one of my favorites right now because I love Chuck Jones. I grew up on cartoons. My entire childhood was cartoons. I mean, my favorite Disney film of all time, from the Disney Princess category, I'm in love with Ariel. Okay, I'm a sworn mermaid fan. I love The Little Mermaid. I know every single song like the back of my hand, even the Chef Louis Le Poisson song that I can recall from the top of my head. I don't even need to pull out the VHS tape that I still have of The Little Mermaid that my mom gave to me when I was old enough. I've had that Little Mermaid videotape back in the 90s for a very long time. Even though The Little Mermaid actually came out when I was only 1 year old. That movie came out in 1989. I was born in 88. I'm actually older than I look. I mean, I look like I'm 21. I look like I'm 13, don't I? I mean, a lot of people say I look like a teenager. But it's the red hair and the facial expressions on my face that makes me look young. I mean, honestly, the red hair comes from the Irish on both sides of the family, especially my mother's. My mother is a sworn Irish woman. The facial features actually comes from a more European side from, like, England and primarily Wales. I have a very Welsh-looking face, and that's because some of my ancestors were from Wales, and my grandmother on my dad's side could trace her family back to, I want to say 1602, 1692, with the first English settlers on Plymouth Rock back in the early days of Massachusetts. My dad was born in New Hampshire, raised in Massachusetts, and he's lived all over the place in New England. My dad had to move 10 times in a single year when he was a kid, until he finally settled in Maryland, and he's pretty much lived in Maryland for about 50 years. But that's basically it. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, I've rambled on way too much. In my next video, which will be posted momentarily after I get off this huge rant that I've probably gone on for too long, the reason why I am doing this video at this point is because nobody is in the house. Kathy and Peter, who were helping my dad move some stuff out of storage, are finally gone. My parents have gone shopping for some essential stuff, like my dad was going to go to the hardware store to pick up something, and then they're going to go to the dollar store. I don't know how much longer that's going to take, but usually it takes a while. I'm glad they're gone because this apartment has very paper-thin walls, so my parents can hear everything. This is why I've said publicly that I will never sing again. So, now that my parents have finally left the building, just for now, I don't know how much longer, this will be the very last time I get to sing in this apartment. Especially since, well, maybe I'll never get to sing again. a few days ago, on Earth Day, which was April 22nd, CCBC Center for Student Life, which is where student government resides, they have made an event for the CCBC Essex Talent Show, which they ironically called CCBC's Got Talent. Like America's Got Talent, but it's for college. That's how kind of cheeky it is. But anyway, the CCBC's Got Talent was supposed to be slotted for April 22nd. And about a month ago, in March, actually no, it was closer to 2 months ago. 2 months ago in February, before Farpoint, when my dad went into the hospital a 7th time. Dad actually went into the hospital the day of Farpoint. First day of Farpoint, that Friday. My dad had to miss his second convention, and now we're going to miss a third because Shore Leave has been canceled due to COVID-19, which really pisses me off, and now I've pretty much sworn off ever leaving this apartment for the rest of my life, and I'm going to die an old maid, spinster, homeless bitch on the street that nobody's ever going to love again. All my futures have been killed. As early as I can remember, my dream job of when I grow up, when I was 5 years old, I wanted to be a princess. That dream died when I heard about Princess Diana being killed in Paris, France. That was when I was like 9 years old. Second was to be a rock singer. That dream died when I heard this terrible story from my mom about how celebrities, like even actors, even authors, have this horrible reputation with the paparazzi, and they don't like being hunted down by camera people and news people. I really feel, I mean, as much as I hate Hamilton, I feel sorry for Lin-Manuel Miranda because I seriously doubt that the man gets any privacy at all, which is why every time he's on a talk show or any time he's being interviewed on on the Today Show or anything, he is super, super hyper. He's super on edge, like he had too much coffee. I'm basically thinking that he's got some severe anxiety issues, especially since he is a Broadway actor by default. He is pumped up with so much energy, I don't know how he sleeps. Especially since before today, like last year, Lynn had a very full, busy schedule. He was working on being a director of a movie based on the life of the guy who created musicals like Rent. He was going to be an actor on this BBC show based on the Philip Pullman books, His Dark Materials. He had already finished up season 1 as Lee Scoresby. I already love the book. I've already purchased a bundle on the first book of His Dark Materials, The Golden Compass, in ebook format for Amazon, and the Audible audio version read by the author. I love it already. It's creepy. It's scary. There's a lot of imagery in it. I'm already hooked. I love this story. I already love it. I love stories about orphans going from nothing to eventually a success story. I've always loved that since I heard about the musical Annie Jr. in elementary school. I've always loved these little rags to riches stories about orphans. I love this. I absolutely love Lyra. And I love Lee Scoresby. Oh my god. Steampunk balloon pilot. That is something cool. That's pretty cool. I love this guy. And as you can see, if you've ever seen my pictures on WordPress of my new makeshift bookshelf, it's not necessarily a bookshelf, but it's just gonna work for now. It's not gonna stay there forever. I have Lin-Manuel's book, Good Morning, Good Night. And that is basically as close as you can get if you've ever read Lin-Manuel's tweets. He owns his own Twitter. He constantly posts some very uplifting tweets through his good mornings and good nights in that book. And some of it just moves you to tears. Like, I even posted some of them on little post-it notes on my wall, like, good morning, you are so loved, and we loved having you around. He actually posted that tweet the day he found out that Anthony Bourdain had just committed suicide due to depression. And that hit me home right in the chest, because I have bipolar disorder, and I was absolutely devastated when I heard about the passings of both Anthony Bourdain and, believe it or not, Robin Williams. When I heard about the death of Robin Williams, who is my absolute favorite comedian of all time, he was the guy who made me fall on the floor laughing my ass off until I felt like I was having a hernia. I love Robin Williams to death, and when I heard about him dying in 2014, less than a year later, I got tested for mental illness, and I tested positive for bipolar, which is, believe it or not, the exact same diagnosis that Robin Williams had. And honestly, I felt like it was a death sentence, but the diagnosis actually saved my life. So I'm so glad I have that hardcover book of Good Morning, Good Night in my possession, in my emergency bookshelf of books that I will never part with. I'm keeping that book forever. And on my Twitter, I've basically been posting a few colored pages. I've started coloring in the Johnny Sun illustrations, because the Twitter page for that book, which is on here, has been doing this challenge for people to color in the pages of the book. Nobody actually took them up on it except me. I was the only one who took them up on it, and I started coloring in the pages, and they've retweeted me several times. So I'm actually very proud of that. I'm proud of that project that they told everybody to do, to color in the pages, and nobody did it but me. I'm never letting that book go, because it inspires hope. And honestly, I feel sorry for Lin, because, oh my god, he must be going through some really tough times. I mean, he's working on Tick Tick Boom as a director. I mean, film directors have got to be taking a beating. If you've heard of anything that Guillermo del Toro was doing while he was working on Pan's Labyrinth, because I remember watching Pan's Labyrinth on DVD, and Guillermo del Toro said he was hospitalized while directing the film. Directors have got to be taking a beating right now. Lin was working on his Dark Materials, trying to get his movie version of his very first musical, In the Heights, to theaters. Now the movie has been pushed back to May of 2021 because of the coronavirus. All movie theaters are shut down. So the director, John Chu, who directed Crazy Rich Asians, has pushed back the release date of In the Heights to hit movie theaters exactly 1 year from today. Because I really do think that Lin made a really good judgment call to push back the movie to another year. So that would basically save the movie sales, save the movie industry, economy and also to save Broadway, because a lot of Broadway actors are being cut out due to COVID-19, especially in New York. My heart goes out to BroadwayCares.org. Please, please donate. Please donate to your favorite causes. I don't care. They're all going to do everything they can to help people with efforts from COVID-19. I really do endorse Broadway Cares. That would definitely help. My heart goes out to Baltimore right now, especially with what Under Armour is doing. Under Armour, which is a Maryland-funded company that makes sportswear and exercise wear for even football players, because we have one of the greatest football teams in the world, the Baltimore Ravens. I love the Ravens. I have a serious crush on my number 9 field kicker of the Ravens, Justin Tucker. I love Justin Tucker. Hottest guy in the NFL. Honestly, I love my Baltimore Ravens. I love my Birds. And they fully back, not just M&T Bank, but they all fully back Under Armour for making... Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that. That was I think that was just a, that's probably some kind of telemarketer or robocaller. I really can't deal with them right now. Anyway, that should be edited out. Anyway, Under Armour is making face masks and face shields instead of sportswear and selling it very, very cheap on the market so everybody can have them. And I think that's actually a very good thing, because Under Armour is never going to lose business after that. I am so happy they're doing that. Also, Michaels and Joann Fabrics is doing that too. They are making masks and face shields, and they're even encouraging families and children to order the materials for these face masks and face shields to be ordered online from their craft stores so that you can make them at home. And I think that idea is absolute genius. Even though I've always hated Michaels because they have terrible selection of yarn and they have horrible selection of everything. I mean, AC Moore had everything. AC Moore has always been my favorite craft store, and they went out of business, right after COVID-19 shut them down. This is crazy. AC Moore was trying to maintain business as they were being liquidated by Michaels, because Michaels bought them and shut them down, forced them to shut down, and they were ultimately shut down by the Maryland government. This is what makes me sick, because I wanted to go to AC Moore one more time, maybe on the last day that they were ever open, and Governor Hogan forced them to shut down immediately due to the coronavirus. So basically, they were pronounced dead on arrival way too soon. They went out of business the day Governor Hogan shut down all non-essential businesses. So they died in the most cruelest way possible. AC Moore is no longer in business, and they were my favorite craft store because they basically had everything. They had yarn in colors that Michaels never had. And Michaels bought them out, liquidated their assets, they're gone. Makes me so ridiculously mad because Michaels doesn't have anything. So now for my marketing project, I'm going to promote Joann Fabrics, because Joann Fabrics has something that Michaels and AC Moore never had, which is the largest selection of fabric that you can make at home for your kids when Halloween comes around and you want to do a DIY costume for your children come Halloween. that is actually the biggest time of the year for Joann Fabrics. The biggest time of the year for Joann Fabrics is when they sell patterns for Simplicity and McCall's costumes, and that's Halloween. Halloween is the biggest time of the year for Joann's. It's not Christmas, it's Halloween, because that's when everybody goes whole hog crazy going to the craft store to buy fabric for their kids to make costumes. A do-it-yourself costume. And that's why Carenza and I love Halloween the most. It is our favorite time of year. But yeah, Carenza's favorite holiday is Halloween. Always has been. She goes all out making costumes every year. Me, my favorite time of year, other than Halloween, Halloween is second rate, even though I love dressing up costumes, but I actually prefer to dress in costume at a convention like Shore Leave or Farpoint. I dress up in costumes like every day of every convention I've ever been to. So Halloween is really second nature to me. My favorite time of year is New Year's. I've always loved New Year's. I always treat my birthday like New Year's Eve, especially because of the date that my birthday is on. My birthday lands on July 25th exactly 5 months to the day, 5 months before Christmas. So technically, I have a Christmas in July, and exactly 1 week after my birthday, which is July 31st, is not only Harry Potter's birthday, which coincidentally is also the author of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling's birthday. J.K. Rowling made her birthday Harry Potter's birthday. So my birthday is the closest to Harry. July 31st, and the significance of July 31st is that it is exactly 5 months before the New Year. So that means New Year's is getting closer. So that's why my birthday is a literal Christmas in July and a New Year's Eve on the same day. It's Christmas and New Year's, because essentially your birthday is basically a New Year's resolution day to start your birthday, to start your whole new year, clean slate, all over again, because you were born that day. And when you age 1 year older, you make your resolution to make yourself better, to improve your mentality, to make over your soul, to promote positivity, and to just clean slate, start over from scratch. The only other time you do that is the holidays on New Year's. So that's why I treat my birthday and every birthday like New Year's Eve. So on July 24th, I already make a list of the things I'm going to do by year's end for my birthday, which is why I've actually just recently made a playlist on my iPod. I've been making playlists on my iPod for every birthday I've ever had since I turned 25, 26, which is around the time I got my first computer. This is actually my 4th computer because the other 3 computers died a little too soon, if I might add. My first computer, Mimi, died because she was 7 years old, and it was a hand-me-down from my dad. It was really out of date. It was a Windows 7. It was gonna die anyway. Then came my purple computer, Simone, I bought from Micro Center, and already the computer was really broken and defective. I kept beating the shit out of it, and within about 2 years, she died because the motherboard had a problem, and the screen was already screwed up all to hell because somehow I dropped it or something, and it broke. Then came Jody. Actually, this is my 5th computer. Then came Jody and Vanellope. Jody I used a year ago during the spring semester and she was less than a year old. I'd say no older than 8 months. 8 months old, and she already started having problems with the screen. And even with the HDMI cord, the screen had no signal. And I sent it back to Micro Center. No matter how many times I tried rebooting it and booting it up again, I still got a black screen and I couldn't see a goddamn thing. I tried putting in my password, nothing. I sent it to the knowledge bar at Micro Center, and they basically pronounced it dead on arrival like a month later when I was scheduled to get my first set of Botox injections into my jaw for TMJ disease and chronic migraines. So, I basically had to get $300 store credit on that computer and buy a Dell, which was Vanellope. And Vanellope died this year, about a few months ago, back when I was still homeless. She died in March. And unfortunately, it was because I accidentally dropped her while she was still plugged into the wall. And it broke the power cord. But when I took it to Micro Center, they said either something's wrong with the screen or something's wrong with the motherboard. And that's going to put you back a few $100 or even $1,000. We have to take it to the shop and analyze it. And that was when they tried a different Dell power cord and the computer still wouldn't charge. So I kind of figured, you know what? I'm just going to buy this computer. And they did not give me store credit this time, even though I pulled up the receipt and I said, I just bought this in the fall last year. I bought this June of last year. It's still within the 12-month period. At least give me some store credit, but the guy was not having it today. I guess he was having a bad day because he knew about coronavirus. So, and already people were trying to maintain the 6 feet social distancing and everything. So, I get it. I feel for these guys. I really feel for Micro Center. I've never had a problem with them. So, I paid $400 for this computer, which is way out of my budget. But the salesman at Micro Center basically said, this computer is the only computer that's going to be cheap enough for you to pay for, but will do everything that a college student uses, because the other computers are not going to help you. You don't want a gaming computer. You don't want a browsing computer like Jody was, because that HP laptop that I kept buying in the pretty colors were absolute pieces of shit. And he said, this computer's the best option for that price. And I'm sorry if it's $100 out of your budget, but you're going to have to pay for it. And I said, but I don't want a screen where you can tap on it and it'll act like a mouse. I don't like touch screens. And he said, well, then you can go into settings and hit disable. And that really messes me up, because what if there's something wrong with the computer and I accidentally touch something and it already scrolls? Not going to go into that fiasco. But long story short, I know I ramble too much. I know this is horrible. I'm probably never going to name my devices ever again. I don't know what to think about this computer. I mean, technology is a pain in the ass. This is why I am against Instagram. I am totally 100% against Snapchat or Pinterest. I don't even know what the fuck a TikTok is. What the hell is a TikTok? What the hell is a Vine? I've never heard of these things. I want to stay away from it. Facebook, Twitter, that's all I want to use. I have 2 Facebook accounts, 1 Twitter account, and 1 LinkedIn. That's all I'm going to use. I don't want to use another social media site ever again. I was forced to use Zoom because of my college professors. That's the only reason why I'm on Zoom. Because that's the only way I'm going to communicate with my business law teacher, Tim Faith, and it's the only surefire way that I can communicate with my DSS counselor because she is deaf. So I was forced to use Zoom. I don't like it, but I'm forced to use it. I don't have a choice. Like I said, I am a self-professed victim. I will always be a victim until I die, which is why I'm never leaving this apartment ever again, and I'm going to die alone. I mean, look at my last relationship with my last ex-boyfriend. I don't want to date anybody ever again. I hope I never get married because there are too many dipshit bastards out there, especially men my age. And if you've seen the men in their 30s that are heterosexual and sapiosexual, the kind of guys that I go for, like Matt Smith or David Tennant, they're all married. All the men that I go gaga for that are totally my type are already married or divorced, and I would rather burn in hell than marry a guy who's been divorced, because the one thing I do not want in a relationship is if my future husband asks me to meet his ex-wife. I don't want to hear any nasty things that my future husband's former ex-wife tells me about. I don't want to hear any gossip from the ex-wife. So I'd rather meet a guy who's never been married, straight, monogamous, sapiosexual, and will love me unconditionally and is fully accepting of all disabilities, all walks of life, and will not, and I repeat, will not try to fix my problems and is willing to listen only. I don't want a therapist for a boyfriend. I don't want my boyfriend to be a doctor, so to speak. I don't want him to overanalyze my problems and try to fix me. No, I just want him to listen and understand. That's why my last relationship that lasted 3 years failed. That's why I had to unfriend him on Facebook. That is why Tiffany and I are not friends anymore, because everybody is trying to fix my problems, and I told them, just listen. Do not try to fix me. I'm already getting fixed by a licensed therapist. Don't fix me. I don't need to be fixed. I just need you to listen. The only person who's been following that to the letter is my best friend Carenza and my mother. Those are the only 2 people who have been listening to me and have been diligently been the best friends on earth. And only one of them is going to see me every day for the entire year. I'm probably never going to see Carenza again. And I'm scared out of my mind. Because if I need a best friend to come over here, even though she has to wear a mask because my dad has cancer, diabetes, heart disease, kidney problems, and asthma, the entire list of health problems that makes you as susceptible to COVID-19 as an 80-year-old woman, makes your immune system so depleted to that of a newborn baby's. I don't care. Just come over. Wash your hands and keep a face mask on at all times. And please, even though I want a hug, do not touch me. Do not touch me. Okay? I really want a hug. I need hugs. But the only person allowed to hug me is my mom now. Or even the dog. I will totally take kisses and hug and cuddles from my puppy. And yes, I still call her a puppy even though she's 11 years old. I don't care. Do not touch me. Keep a safe distance because I don't want my dad to get this disease. I don't want my father to die of the coronavirus. I'm willing to abide by all, and I mean all, of Governor Hogan's laws set in the state of Maryland Stay-Home Directive lockdown order. I'm willing to obey it. I'm willing to keep social distancing. I'm willing to keep 6 feet from everybody. 2 people were just over here helping my dad move stuff. They were wearing masks and they have to wash their hands because their father is living with them. He's like 80 years old and he's got some severe problems as well. I won't say anything about it. But they have been doing everything right. So, if I need a friend right now, as long as she wears a mask, as long as she washes her hands and keeps a distance and does not touch me, then please, come over. I need you. I really do need a hug from a real friend, but I can't. I can't right now. Not now. Not for the entire year. For the next 12 months, I'm not touching anybody but my mom and the dog. And my dad. And that's it. I cannot leave this apartment until coronavirus is over. But it's not going to be over until someone makes a vaccine in a year, which is why the entire United States is shut down. Except for the essential stuff like dollar store, hardware store, and groceries. That's all that's out there. Those are essential. So, everybody's stuck at home. You basically have to order everything online. I hate it because I had a problem with HotTopic.com in ordering a dress. But thank God for their customer service system because customer service is incredible at Hot Topic. I love these guys. So, yes, please support HotTopic.com. They're great. Other than that, I'm willing to abide and follow the law set down by State of Maryland government in Annapolis. I'm willing to follow Larry Hogan's laws and his stay-home quarantine directive. I'm willing to do that because cancer is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Dad's health problems. And the big one, the biggest disease that my dad's been fighting since he was a child is asthma. He has the worst case of asthma in the entire family. I'm not gonna lie. That's the one I'm worried about. Because coronavirus is the exact same problem as asthma, but you can get it just like catching a cold. By touching, by coughing, by spreading germs. You can catch it as easily as the flu or the cold, which is why they want you to maintain social distancing, wear a mask, and wash your hands. It's that serious. So if my dad gets coronavirus, the asthma is going to kill him because my dad can get pneumonia real quick. And he's done it before in the last 2 years. This is not news. This has been going on in my family for decades. My dad's had asthma for 50 years, no lie. If he gets coronavirus, he will die. Just on the asthma alone. His immune system is way down here. So, that's why I can't leave. I cannot leave because what if I get infected, I don't feel any symptoms, and then my dad gets it, and he's in the hospital again with coronavirus that turns into pneumonia in seconds. That's why I think a lot of Marylanders are being idiots and not maintaining a safe distance, touching everybody, and not washing their hands. Wearing gloves and then just dumping them in the street like pollution. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Listen to doctors. Doctors and nurses and first responders are your friends because they have one job. They've only got one job, and that is to do no harm and save people's lives from death. Everything they do is a stall. Dr. Cox was right in the NBC show Scrubs. Everything a doctor and a first responder and a nurse is doing is a stall. They're trying to stall death. They're trying to make the quality of life better for you and to let you live a long life so that you can be happy. Even psychotherapists and psychiatrists are doing the same thing. They're trying to stall you so you can live. That's why coronavirus is such a huge issue. I used to laugh at it like it's just like swine flu. Now it's not funny anymore because my dad just came home. And he was in a nursing home, and I was scared out of my mind that the nursing homes were going to get infected first thing with coronavirus. And it happened at Future Care. But my dad was not there, so my family was saved the hardship of losing another family member. I don't want that to happen to my father because he was the one who blessed me with a gift of cosplays, blessed me with a gift of an immense love and collection of 1960s and 1970s rock and roll. My dad has a huge love for Jeff Lynne and ELO, which is why my dad's ringtone is Mr. Blue Sky. I absolutely love that song. I think it's cute. I think it's absolutely adorable that my dad saved that to his phone. And my dad has blessed me with a gift of immense knowledge of pop culture, geek culture, and all kinds of fandoms. My dad is a sworn Trekkie. I actually never liked Star Trek because it played over and over until my dad showed me the episode Shore Leave from the original series, which is how the Shore Leave Convention got its name. I love that about my dad. And my dad has met William Shatner 3 times. And he is really good friends with George Takei. This is why I love my dad. My dad is a sweetheart. Nicest guy you've ever met. Soon as you walk in and you talk to him, he will make your day a lot brighter because he's got such a sense of humor. That's why my future husband has to make me laugh. I mean, even my cousin Adam, who came over and helped us move into this apartment, my cousin Adam Zayed, who's another sweetheart, I told him about my breakup, and he's like, well, at least you know now. Now you know. You gotta find a husband who is less of an asshole. I love my cousins. I absolutely love my cousins. Cousin Adam is like a brother to me. I'm an only child. I've lived my entire life in isolation and solitude. I wish I had a brother like him. So, my cousins are the closest things to siblings that I have. Adam and Tommy are like my brothers, my big brothers. Cousins Tommy and Adam. Adam came over and helped us move our stuff, and he was an absolute angel to us. Got all my stuff in here. He did a great job. I love you, Cousin Adam. Give my best to your wife, Joanna, and your kids. I love you. So, anyway, Cousin Adam really helped me a lot, and he helped me get over my breakup, saying that, oh, your ex-boyfriend's an asshole. Well, now you know you gotta find a guy who's less of an asshole. Still an asshole, but less of an asshole. And he made me laugh. Thank you. Thank you, Cousin Adam. You're like a brother to me. Alright. So, my next video, I know it's probably been an hour, or shit, maybe 2 hours. My next video, I'm finally going to sing for the last time. Long story short, about the CCBC Talent Show. February was audition day. I auditioned my performance to sing a song from The Greatest Showman. That was actually the movie that I watched with my mother on my 30th birthday about 2 years ago. Almost to the day. And I was kind of feeling kind of sad on my 30th birthday because my birthday that year, that entire week, was miserable. It was raining like a son of a bitch. And it really was my fault for making it miserable because, honestly, my friends took me to medieval times that year while it was still pouring down rain. And I was dropping curse words throughout the entire trip and pissing off a lot of mothers with very young children. And I did it in public. Carenza was not happy. Tiffany was not happy. My boyfriend at the time, before he became my ex last year, was very pissed off. Everybody was unhappy. And when I went to medieval times, I kind of felt a little immature going there because, honestly, now that I think about it, medieval times isn't fun anymore because it's really geared towards children. It's really not my thing anymore because now I'm in my 30s and I really, really want a more mature way to celebrate my birthday. I mean, honestly, I celebrated my 21st birthday at a bar. A real karaoke bar. And barely anybody was there. In fact, none of my friends were there. Nobody was there. Tornado wasn't there. My friends from high school, like Jenna Dixon and everybody, they weren't there. I was fully expecting them to be there. But at least my dad's friend, the karaoke DJ, John Cutts, known as the Godfather, was there to buy me my first alcoholic drink. And Padre, this great big buffoon who was partying with my dad, was there to celebrate my 21st birthday. And both he and my dad were doing the 21 touchdown dance and acting like complete foolish children because my dad was so proud of me that I was in college. I was going to graduate from college in 2011. And he was so proud of me because not only was I graduating from college, but I was the first woman in the entire Aarons family to not do drugs, not get pregnant, not get any sexually transmitted diseases before graduation and actually graduate from college. My dad was so proud of me the second I walked across the stage from Towson University. He was so completely happy that I made it this far to 21 when I had my first alcoholic drink. And I was actually pretty tipsy that night. Barely anybody was there. I wish Tornado was there. But it was funny of me being really overexcited and energetic, kind of drunk, like the happy drunk, doing Straight Up by Paula Abdul, which came out the year I was born. And then Padre did Walk the Dinosaur. that is my takeaway from my 21st birthday. And because of that, I really want a complete do-over of my 30th birthday in that regard. But this time, because my prom, my senior prom, was horrendously ruined, and I was publicly humiliated even by my friends that I went into the limousine with. I really had no date to prom because I was getting rejected by my guy friends left and right. People who I called my friends, but they actually weren't. I found out that popularity was really hypocrisy. I was rejected by so many guys, and I asked Josh if he wanted to be my date, but he already had a date, kind of. So he asked me to come into the limousine anyway, pay $90, and just come to the prom alone. So I really was going to the prom stag. But then he decided to surprise me with a blind date, and that blind date was Ryan, who bullied me by kicking my book bag, throwing crumpled up bits of paper at me, and calling me Rolling Rachel in Spanish class. He was a bully. So my blind date was a bully, and I tried to explain to him, but then he said, well, Rachel, I really couldn't invite anybody else, and we had to keep the price of the limousine down. So, fair is fair. But then after that, it just spiraled down here. The sexual harassment. Miriam Ahmadian saying, don't fuck up my prom, you evil bitch. Sitting in the limousine looking like an idiot in front of my friends while my friends were kissing their boyfriends as their dates, and me just staring at Ryan on the other side of the limo as I rode closer to the driver. And I looked like a stupid idiot because I only had one boyfriend out of my entire high school 4 years. So I was basically screwed. My prom was ruined the minute I stepped into the limousine. And that was my first limo ride ever, and all of my real friends said that I was the prettiest girl at the prom because I was dressed head to toe in white. My prom dress looked incredible, and my mom had just watched this amazing rom-com called The Wedding Date. It was with Deborah Messing from Will and Grace. My mom fell in love with Deborah Messing's bridesmaid hairstyle that she had to give it to me when she took me to that hair salon at Joe Chino's and told the hairstylist how to do it. And I looked exactly like Deborah Messing that night from that movie in the wedding scene where Amy Adams gets married. My mom is a miracle worker when she tells the hairstylist to do it. I thought that I was going to be able to do my own hair and just wing it with my makeup that year because our original plans to go to PHH and have 2 girls do me for my hair and makeup actually fell through. So I thought, well, I'll just put my hair in a little hair clip with a little butterfly hairpin, and I'll just wing it with the makeup. I mean, I've got makeup. But instead, my mom had other plans, and she decided to spend $80 on Giochino's hair salon. I had my makeup done. I had my hair done. I even had my very first French manicure. So, I was ready to go. And my mom was a miracle worker when she set me up with this. I love my mom. And unfortunately, I had to give away my prom dress when we moved here. And that was a few months ago in February or January when we were cleaning out the house. And it was an accident. It was a total accident for me to lose my prom dress. My mom accidentally had it donated because she didn't know which dress was my prom dress. There was so much stuff in the third bedroom, she couldn't figure it out. So she said, take it all, get it out of my sight. She even donated her old wedding dress from 1986. So the only thing of my prom that I still have is the shawl that I crocheted myself. And I never let it out of my sight because I said, if they took my prom dress, there is no way in hell I'm letting them take my shawl. Because it's sentiment. It's sentimental value because I made it myself. I wasted blood, sweat, and tears making that. I worked for months on making that shawl. It was ready by the talent show in April, and in May 2006, I finally got to wear it. And I'm never letting it out of my sight. So it's in my closet now. That's where it's going to stay. It's the only thing I have of my prom besides my pictures. And I'm probably never going to wear it again because nobody wants to marry me. I'm a nervous wreck. Everybody hates me. All men hate me. It's the truth. I can't deny it. But anyway, I auditioned for the talent show in February this year. Right before April 22nd. The talent show was going to be in April, a few days ago. I auditioned with my song from The Greatest Showman. They loved it. In a few weeks in March, right before, like 2 days before, maybe 2 weeks before Hogan shut down all colleges, including community colleges, my last day on the CCBC Essex campus was Friday the 13th in March, about a month ago. He shut down colleges on March 13th. It was made official when Dr. Curtinitis got the email a day before on March 12th, which was the day we sold the house. It was like the first week of me being homeless. We sold the house on March 12th. So, on the eve that schools were shut down permanently, I got an email in my Gmail account from CCBC Student Life saying, congratulations, Rachel, you made the cut. You are going to perform in the finals at the CCBC Talent Show 3 p.m. in the afternoon on April 22nd. April 22nd was 3 days ago. Schools are still on shutdown. Prom in the entire state of Maryland has been canceled. All graduation ceremonies across the country for the class of 2020, high school and college, canceled. Dr. Curtinitis has emailed all CCBC students that graduation ceremonies for the class of 2020, May 31st, will be held on Zoom video conference only. I don't know how she's going to do it because there are 70,000 students going to CCBC online and in person at this moment. I don't know how 20,000 students will be able to graduate in real time at the same time through Zoom during the graduation ceremony May 31st, 2020. I seriously doubt it. My initial thought, takeaway from this, is that no college student and no high school student will ever graduate this year or never graduate again. That's my doom and gloom initial thought. No high school student and no college student is going to graduate this year. 2020 is a shit show. Nobody's graduating. So unfortunately, my last chance to sing was April 22nd, 2020. The plans fell through. So I'm never going to sing in public again. I don't think I'm ever going to go back to karaoke. As much as my dad loves karaoke. My dad loves to be a singer. My dad is a former member of the Thespian Society at Glen Burnie High School, class of 1979. Dad loves to be a drama queen. He loves the stage. He loves theater. He's a former boogie night as Sid DeVicious. Come on. Dad loves to sing. He never let the asthma or the heart disease stop him from singing. He won't stop singing until he's cold in his grave. Dad's never giving up karaoke as much as he wants to, as sick as he is with cancer and all the other things. Dad loves to sing. Unfortunately, it's not the same for me. Because my parents are taking better care of handling this than me. Because of my mental illness and the way things are going with COVID-19, I'm never going to sing again. I'm never going to sing in this apartment after I make this video. So I'm going to make a separate video because this has gone on way too long. It's gone on hours. It is 6 o'clock right now. Dinner is almost on the table. I don't know how much longer until I get a text from my mom saying that they're coming home. So without further ado, I'm going to try to make this quick. I'm going to make a separate video of me covering Greatest Showman as intended for the CCBC Essex Talent Show, CCBC's Got Talent. That was supposed to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Seaboard Time at CCBC Essex. The song I was going to do, and I hope I have the voice for this after shouting and basically ranting for about 1 or 2 hours, I don't know. I'm going to try to attempt the song, the exact same song I was going to do at the talent show that I auditioned with. The song is called Never Enough, performed by Jenny Lind, the Swedish Nightingale opera singer from the movie The Greatest Showman. It was the movie I saw with my mother on my 30th birthday. And that song is actually my favorite part of the whole movie. It's my favorite song from the soundtrack. And unfortunately, this is the last song I'm ever going to sing. So, in loving memory of Ponch Fenwick, who died just before Shore Leave was canceled. He's been a friend to the family for years. And also in loving memory of one of the Con babies, Robbie Greenberger, who is writer and author Bob Greenberger's son. He runs Crazy 8 Press. Robbie has been a dear friend of mine, and I will confess that I actually used to have a crush on Robbie as far back as childhood, maybe. And I want to confess to his father, Bob Greenberger, that if Robbie were still alive, before Robbie was diagnosed with leukemia, I would have said to Bob, I wish your son was my date to the prom, because prom was miserable. And if nobody wanted to go to the prom with me, I wish Robbie was my prom date. Because he was the very last guy I ever got to slow dance with before he got sick with cancer. So, in loving memory of Ponch Fenwick and dear Con Baby, Robbie Greenberger, who would have been 32 years old this year. He died when he was 20. My heart goes out to everyone at Shore Leave. People working the hospital, doctors, nurses, first responders, the Baltimore County Police. I love you. Even though I'm scared of you, I love you. I love what you're doing. To everyone in Annapolis working so hard to get quarantine under control so that they can open all the businesses. To Lin-Manuel Miranda, to Sarah Bareilles, to everyone working with Broadway Cares, to everyone. This is the reason why I'm wearing this t-shirt. This is a nonprofit that I support 100%. NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, which is going on today for Camp Month. This is Camp April. My heart goes out to all of you. And please, if you are having trouble with your mental illness right now during COVID-19, go to NAMI.org, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and talk. Please contact the crisis hotline wherever you are, in your state, in your territory, and get help. Because you're not alone. I'm here with you. I have bipolar. I'm an expert on mental illness because I have one. Do not neglect to talk. Even on Zoom, even on social media, please talk to a therapist by phone, even though you cannot have a hug at this point. Remember, I'm here with you. Do not give up until someone hears your story. Do not commit suicide. That is my nightmare right now, that 7 billion people are going to die either from coronavirus or killing themselves, and there's not enough tombstones for everyone. Do not lose hope, okay? Don't kill yourself. Because I'm in the same boat with you. I wish God would kill me. But that's never going to happen. And I won't commit suicide. I'm not going to do that. I refuse. Because it scares me. I'm a coward. I'm a self-professed coward and a victim. I've always been a victim my whole life. Since I was 7, when my grandfather died. So please, if you are having a problem with mental illness, get help. Go to NAMI.org, National Alliance on Mental Illness. Look for your territory. Sign up for a support group on Zoom or call their hotline. Remember, you're not alone, because I'm here with you too. So dedicating it to everybody with a mental illness, people who've died of coronavirus or cancer or anything, in loving memory of our dearest friends who have passed this year. And to all the hospitals, doctors, nurses, clinicians, first responders, EMTs, everybody, paramedics, and to the Baltimore County Police System and the system in Annapolis, the government system, Larry Hogan, everybody who's been working so hard to save our lives in this time, now that I've been displaced due to COVID-19, and I'm never getting my house ever again. I'm going to live here until I'm kicked out, evicted, because my parents will no longer be here, and I'll be homeless for the rest of my life. My heart and soul goes out to you. So here is Never Enough by Jenny Lind from The Greatest Showman. I love you all.